Hi Bryony, this is Not Enough Time.
I was going to reply as a text comment, but you're only allowed 500 characters, which is nowhere near long enough to make a sensible argument. And my webcam hasn't arrived yet, but I thought I'd make a reply anyway. I'll put some pretty pictures over this. So yeah, I used to argue a lot on forums, because one of the good things and one of the bad things about the internet is that no matter what your opinions are on something, you will always be able to find somebody who agrees with you, no matter how controversial or evil or out there your opinions are. And so obviously there's a lot of people talking a load of bigoted, ill-informed bollocks out there. And you're right, you do feel compelled to just put them right, because it seems so obvious that they're completely wrong. But I really don't think there's any shame in stepping back from things, because for a start, it takes so long to write these things down properly, and in the end, only one person's going to read them, if they're going to read it properly at all. I used to end up writing huge essays on things, and which would take me hours, and then having to break them up over several different posts because I'd exceeded the character limit or something, and it's just not worth it. And then there are also like three types of people who are always going to screw you over. There's one, let's call them the mirror. No matter what you say to them, they're always going to say the exact opposite right back at you, because they don't really care. Two, let's call them cowards. They're the people who aren't actually emotionally involved in this argument at all, and who will just walk away, which is just so annoying. If you've been intensely debating something back and forth, and someone says, right, yeah, okay, bored now, bye. That really annoys me. And the third kind of person is somebody like you were saying you were, who will just like cling on to their opinion no matter what evidence is thrown up in their face or how good your arguments are against them. They will just cling to that. So I've got two philosophies on arguing in general. The first one is that it's generally not a good idea to look at it in terms of beating someone and forcing them to concede that you are right, because people are proud in the end and will do anything they can to avoid doing that. So instead you can use it to develop your own opinions, because the way I see it, if you take your opinion or your argument or whatever and put it out in the world, and then all these people say, no, that's rubbish, that's completely wrong because of this and because of this and because of this, and if you take all that on board and you still think you're right, that's a much stronger opinion. And also, it's like practice for real life. If you argue with people on the internet, then when this issue actually comes up in a situation which actually means something, then you've seen all these arguments before and you've got an idea of how to argue against them if you actually care about arguing. And the other thing is, instead of looking at it as winning or losing, if you can introduce a little bit of doubt into your opponent's mind, if you can challenge one of their fundamental assumptions, or if you can make one good solid point against them, or if you can change their mind over just one small aspect of their argument, then that little bit of doubt is going to grow and grow and grow in their mind. And then, like, you know, when you get weeds, which are quite feeble, flimsy things, but they can like pummel their way up through paving stones and crack paving stones to pieces, it'll be like that, and that'd be cool. The second philosophy is that you start off with some like high level disagreement, blah, immigrants are a bad thing, immigrants are a good thing, and then you work out what actually the fundamental thing that you disagree on is. One person might think that immigrants are a significant drain on the welfare state, and the other person doesn't. And then once you got down to that point, that's quite cool, because that's a point at which one or other person can like say, look, I have evidence of this, this is hard cold fact, you have to accept this. Or if you can't get that evidence where you are there and then you can just say, okay, fine, we disagree on this point. There's nothing that can be done here, because both our arguments depend upon that fundamentally disputed point. And then that's a situation in which you can both stop without one person having won, but without anyone losing face or whatever. So those are some of my thoughts on that. Sorry it wasn't a proper video response, but I hope you found that interesting, and I'll hopefully be posting some videos soon.